the Voice of the Cayman Islands is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The 1700s proved to be a very important century to the Cayman Islands. Permanent settlement of Grand Cayman began with a few families, most notably the Boddens. Between 1734 and 1742, 5 land grants in Grand Cayman were made by the governor of Jamaica. At this time, mahogany and logwood were exported to Jamaica. In 1780, William Eden, a mariner and early English settler, established a cotton and mahogany plantation in Savannah's Pedro Bluff and built St. James, now known as Pedro St. James Castle, a remarkable building for that period and the only house on Grand Cayman to survive a devastating hurricane of 1784. In 1794, the wreck of the 10 sails occurred, and Cayman's most popular legend of how the island became tax-free was born. In 1798, the governor of Jamaica appointed the first magistrate in Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thanks very much for joining us. I always wanted to sit here to facilitate, to, as I say, live, love, laugh, and learn. And as we share this opportunity, we invite you to be a part of the discussion. We'll start things off, I guess, what better than to be in our Mother's Union. And then 1 o'clock with our youth services unit friends, we'll talk to you. And then Quincy Brown at 1:30. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard. And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We say parenting should come in a handbook, and for some of us, it actually does. And it's not just written, recorded for thousands of years. Sometimes it's that we look across the table at our own parents and their parents, if we are willing to join together. That union, I think, is what strengthens us. And whenever we can have sort of programming that helps us to be better parents, so much. Well, I'm honored for that opportunity today. It's good to see you. It's been a year, has it?
Yeah, I think so. I think
already?
Yeah, we were here last year, wasn't it? Yeah,
it goes quickly, huh?
It does go. Yeah, time. See, I getting all grey all over now.
I was going to say, and I didn't age a drop, man. But it's that laughter, true love, that I think we are able to live, right? And sometimes it has to be purposeful. I'm reminded of some cultures that choose, as they wake up, to ensure that they are in as positive a mindset as possible. And we have all this stuff these days that we ascribe certain terminology. And if we look at it, it's ancient practice. It's biblical. But again, what do I know, right? I only read and recognize that a little learning is a dangerous thing. So I'm going to learn a lot more, right? Well, thank you again with the greatest love and respect. Welcome to our show. Talk to us, because we can be better if we are together.
Good afternoon, Cayman. And it's great to be back again, Sterling. It's always a pleasure to be here to see your wonderful smile and bubbling personality.
Thank you.
My name is Karen. I think most people know me by now because I'm always here slagging something.
What's that song? If you don't know
me by now.
Come on, you will.
Never know.
The scripture says, make a joyful.
Yes.
And it is joyful.
Everybody can sing, but not everybody's a singer.
Yeah, I know. So I'm Karen from the Mothers Union of St. George's Anglican Church, and with me is the lady with the purse strings, Debrica, who brings all our ideas into being and tells us whether or not we have money or not to do it.
What was it Rothschild say? Show me who writes the checks, not tell you who controls it.
I know, right?
Oh, well, welcome.
So today we're here to talk about our parenting facilitator program. And the first thing people might be wondering, who or what is the Mothers Union?
Mm-hmm.
What are we about? We are a mission of the Anglican Church, and we have been around since 1876. And in this diocese, which is Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, we have been here for a little over 40 years. The Mothers Union started with Mary Sumner, who wanted to create an organization for women, and that has now expanded into families, whether rich or poor, to build a network that would support parents of all kinds as they brought up their children in the Christian faith. Mm-hmm. We are a grassroots organization. We're recognized in over 80 countries with over 4 million members. We work alongside local communities. We advocate and campaign at the grassroots level, and we want to see certain changes become reality. For example, we support women, men, children, and young people and families in all their forms to eliminate gender-based violence and abuse. We promote equality, we help to build healthy relationships, and we support women in the key role they have in building communities and bringing peace and reconciliation. We mobilize our members and supporters and the public and government to effect change throughout the world. Here in Cayman, we have partnered with the Crisis Center to raise awareness regarding domestic violence. We are currently working alongside HMP Northwood and Fairbanks, as well as LIFE, which is Literacy for Everyone, to establish small gift centers at both prisons so that inmates are able to access books to give as gifts to their children on their birthdays or other special occasions, because our belief is incarcerated parents are also parents, and they do have families that need to flourish.
And that is something that just collectively, but specifically not domain, out of sight, out of mind sometimes. And we don't recognize how when, for justifiable reasons or not, when rights and liberties are taken from somebody, your movements are dictated and defined by the circumstance in which you're still a person. And the most horrible of people still alive, perhaps there's hope. But if that person now is doing something that's now going to be affecting young children, what is happening? So how do we not exclude them. Well, Mr. Baker, from that perspective, we may not say it publicly, or when we do jovially, but we say money makes the world go around. And unfortunately, sometimes we want to do something, but if there isn't currency,
that is a fact.
It doesn't happen. So, I know Ms. Williams joked about it, but it's true. How do we now make sure? So, welcome to you. Please, feel the love, feel the welcome. Share with us. How are you today?
I'm fine. Hello, everyone. I'm Debrica Rollins, a member of St. George's Anglican Church and the Mothers Union. I'm the treasurer, as Karen mentioned, so I manage the funds and determine what we can afford. Unfortunately for us, we did receive a grant to help us to put on this training program for flourishing families, which I believe will be extremely beneficial for the Cayman Islands, because I think most of us, if not all of us, have experienced some level of dysfunction in our family. And there are many studies that show that there are adverse effects of dysfunction in family. Children have poor communication skills, which affect their social relationships, and they're more prone to risky behaviors, drug use, alcohol use, sexual intercourse. They have higher levels of anxiety. It affects their grade in school, which ultimately affects their future. And so I believe any program that helps families, that provides tools that could help them to make the environment for children more stable is beneficial. I mean, you said there's no handbook and there are no perfect parents. Most parents get some things right and some things wrong. But I believe that this program will help us to get more things right than we do wrong.
And that's what I think we're striving to achieve and recognize, as you shared. All those things are interconnected. One leads to the other. It's almost typical. In the absence of good parenting, a good, safe, nurturing environment, what happens to that child? And then how does that, unfortunately, becomes this negative, vicious cycle, a downward spiral, as it were. You referenced the grant, and we don't see sometimes that whether it's our tithes and our offerings, whether we are specifically funding a program and the like. If you will, and we'll come back, let's talk about the grant, because it's both from the perspective of our time, our talent, and our treasure, that triple approach. But secondly, that collective input, but where then we understanding the need and how do we respond. So maybe we talk about it when we come back. I want to ask about a few other things, and I want to invite you to share with us, because the more we partner, the more we are, prepared. The more we flourish. I like it. We're on the same page today. All right. Please stay tuned and join us after the break.
It's that time of year again. Cayman Airways is celebrating its anniversary with airfares on sale. Tickets are now on sale for some of your favorite destinations: Miami, Tampa, New York, Los Angeles, Kingston, La Ceiba, Panama, Havana, and even Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. But hurry, this sale ends August 10th. Other conditions apply. Book online at CaymanAirways.com or call 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 56 years as Cayman's award-winning national airline.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Hi everyone, I'm Roy McTaggart, and I'm here with Joey Hugh to tell you about an exciting Progressives event coming up.
That's right, Roy. We're inviting all members and friends of the Progressives to our National Council meeting.
It's happening on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at the Seafarers Association Hall, 11 Victory Avenue in Prospect.
Join us to hear about our plans and bold vision for the upcoming election, and meet our dedicated Progressives members of Parliament in person.
And yes, there will be delicious food and drinks.
We can't wait to see all of our Progressive family and friends here. It's a great opportunity to get involved and stay informed.
So join us at the Seafarers Hall on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. See you there.
Stronger, safer, future. Vote Progressive. Caring and At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments August 15th to the 20th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Cayman at gmail.com. That's drportercayman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you so much for allowing me to be in this place, because if any day I come in here and I am never gracious and grateful, I'm quickly reminded that I should be, and thankfully I endeavor without much effort to be, but especially when I have the wonderful company of stewards like you, of people who are not just prayer warriors but are physical deliberate champions to fostering the family, to creating that unity that comes through a strengthened community. So, Ms. Karen, to you, Mr. Baker, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us again. So when we broke, we were about to talk about our youth grant. And I want to give a big shout out to Melanie Wall at the Youth Services arm of the Ministry of Youth. And she came up with this, or the ministry came up with this plan to have youth grants for organizations within the Cayman Islands whose mission is to support youths. And so the Mothers Union, we applied for this grant, and we were one of those groups that were successful. And the grant is going to be the grant is going to be used to provide funding for our parenting facilitator program. This is a volunteer thing. I just wanted to make that clear. We don't have money to pay people. It's something that I think, it's 5,000 CI that we got. And, part of that, we're going to be bringing somebody over from Jamaica whose role will be to conduct the training sessions, once that is established. But so that's what we're going to be doing. It's, even though the grant is a youth grant, if the families that our youths are coming from are not flourishing, which is what our program is called, Flourishing Families. If families are not flourishing, then our youth won't be flourishing. And so the grant was given to us on the basis that we would conduct train persons right across the Cayman Islands whose job it is to walk alongside families to ensure that they flourish. So wherever the families are from, whether they're walking around in Cayman or they're incarcerated or anywhere you find them, anywhere it lies, we're hoping to have a facilitator in each district, in each community, who parents can turn to. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, what is this program? What is it all about? So in Jamaica, where I am from, a parenting facilitator meets with parents in a group setting. It's a very confidential space. I have to emphasize that, because not only do the parenting facilitators are hearing from parents, they're also sharing a part of themselves. Our groups that we have at St. George's, and I've been a member of the Mothers Union for about 10 years now. Our groups meet once a week in a very enclosed space. When COVID came, we started to meet via Zoom, and we share and we help and we hold each other's hands and we walk with each other, because nobody gives you a manual, as you said. And it's a challenge for parents out there, especially because of all the distractions. And Debrica can tell you, because she's heavily involved with students from our PIN program, Positive Intervention Now. And she meets with the students one-on-one, and she knows what it is, what challenges they have and everything. And we both meet with the parents. So we understand the issues that are out there. We've spoken to people at DCFS. We know the challenges that parents here in this jurisdiction have. And so the Parenting Facilitator Program is to train persons to be facilitators. And persons can come from all walks of life. You can be a teacher. You can be a member of parliament, police officers, me, you. As long as each of us that lives in this community has a vested interest to ensure that antisocial behavior and that the breakdown of the family does not continue. Yeah. A country or a society that has no solid family structure is doomed to fail.
And as you share that, we're recognizing that as a parent, we all have so much in common. And we all feel at some point that we're the only people going through that thing, or that if others have, it's not as bad as what we're experiencing. But having that group session, we can share confidentially. We can, you experienced that, and get that feedback. But as you shared, it also expands beyond that circle, so that it touches and concerns all of us throughout all of the community. And it may not, be something that is, a money center, but it's going to cost the volunteers time, the participants time, and in the absence of it, a greater cost, because what is, as Mr. Epic referenced, the impact on that child who, in the absence of that positive intervention, Pastor Mary with that program, I think, has been a phenomenal success. But we need to do more, and instead of the 1 or the 1,000, maybe it needs to be the 1 million that becomes the 1 billion. But it won't start without the one.
Without the one, right.
And are we part of that one?
We are.
Right. So as Karen mentioned, anyone can become a part of this training. Okay. Anyone can become a facilitator. There's no prerequisite. You just have to be willing. And I think, thank you for saying I was young earlier, but
that was between 3 minutes.
I feel like, unfortunately, we have departed from It takes a village, and I believe that that's where we need to get back to in order to get a stable environment for children, right? We all have to play a part. Like, I don't have biological children, but when I see children, I treat them as my own. Like, if a child is in my care, I want to make sure they're safe in every respect, because I believe that child is my responsibility just as much it's their parents' responsibility. And I think that's what the society needs to get back to.
I think that's what has caused me. And it may be because of the political pundit that sort of posited that, most unfortunately. We talk about it takes a village to raise a child, and we just say it. Yet we grew up without that being repeated, but we lived in that village, looked after us. I'm mindful of a grad student who did some research a couple of decades now, went from the US into Japan and observed school children and marveled at how can this 5-year-old leave home, walk, get on the bus, the train, get to school and get back home and it's safe. And realizing two things: everybody on that bus, train, was looking out for that child.
Exactly.
Back where he's from and across all the states, you playing in your backyard and you're concerned. But not just there, other Western civilizations. What was the difference? And if we don't inculcate that social ethos, that it is our responsibility to protect, but wait a minute, not just that child, they do it with their elderly.
Exactly.
That makes a difference, right? So when we come back, you reference that there is, so no prerequisite. No prerequisite. I don't have to be a member of the church. But can we talk about, well, when does it start? How long does it last? What is involved? What is the level of commitment? What does it go? I mean, I would like to be a better parent, but it's not going to just happen in a vacuum, or will it? Maybe I can find one of those magic lamps.
It won't.
It won't. Well, let's find out what we need to do.
Amen. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, and we're looking forward to what you're going to share right after the break. Okay. Oh, not ready yet. Listen, can I hopefully be forgiven for talking to the school? We have the most fantastic team here at Cayman. I give them a hard time sometimes, not unconsciously. They do such great work. And technology being what it is, it doesn't always cooperate. You press a button, go off. It doesn't, right? But when people know what they're doing, so if we just got a quick little glitch, apparently the red wire and the green wire is ready to connect it up. Are you ready now, sir? He's like, no, not yet. No. Soon comes soon. All right, while he's saying that, I'm mindful to ask that as we're going into the break. There isn't a cost necessarily, but why and how we can partner to make it more affordable, more accessible, and perhaps all-encompassing, because today it may be at one location, but we can do it again instead of a year's time, maybe in a continual basis, in partnership with the school, at the school, part of the PTA, other congregations, and we divide ourselves into little silos because it's convenient to be labeled. How can we, sort of build bridges, and how do we make it? I just want it to work for the betterment.
Well, one of the mottos, can we go or
keep going? Keep going? The saying is sometimes it's best to ask permission and not forgiveness, right?
Okay.
That's what it says, right? Yeah. So we can ask permission. Let's seek forgiveness.
Okay. So one of the things about the Mothers Union is that we work with persons of all faiths and persons of no faith.
Okay.
So
you little faith.
This program is for everybody. I have to say before we go to the break that one of the biggest supporters of this program so far, and that we've seen from sign-ups, is from the Royal Cayman Islands Police. Mm-hmm. I have to give them a shout out because they are sometimes the first line that parents encounter when they have challenging situations, whether it's domestic violence, children who are acting out antisocially, children who die under tragic circumstances. The police is what they see. We don't want the police to be the first. If you see the police in this program, it's because they're there to hold your hand and help you to navigate whatever challenges that you're experiencing.
Thank you for sharing that, because like you, I believe that too many societies have seen policing as this thing without the sufficient respect that it deserves, but also the demands of a police officer, the facilitator right there, the negotiator, the arbitrator, that person who has to be the enforcer. And yet we hear media talk about, they need to de-escalate. But what are we doing to help them so that when we see the police, it's not the gun and this urban commando as portrayed sometimes in the media, but it's this person who is coming almost like Florence Nightingale in a sense. People may say that's not possible. I believe it is.
I think it is.
So Richard Peel in the UK as the father of their modern policing thought about community policing. We've gone so far away. So having the program is excellent. Having those police officers make time and come with that commitment, listen,
Yeah,
heartfelt
definitely.
thanks to them.
Yeah, and it will
is
better equip them to
Yes.
deal with those calls that they will
All right.
receive.
Let's take this break now. Yay! And when we come back, let's conclude the discussion.
It's that time of year again. Cayman Airways is celebrating its anniversary with airfares on sale. Tickets are now on sale for some of your favorite destinations: Miami, Tampa, New York, Los Angeles, Kingston, La Ceiba, Panama, Havana, and even Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. But hurry, this sale ends August 10th. Other conditions apply. Book online at CaymanAirways.com or call 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 56 years as Cayman's award-winning national airline.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Hi everyone, I'm Roy McTaggart, and I'm here with Joey Hugh to tell you about an exciting Progressives event coming up.
That's right, Roy. We're inviting all members and friends of the Progressives to our National Council meeting.
It's happening on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at the Seafarers Association Hall, 11 Victory Avenue in Prospect.
Join us to hear about our plans and bold vision for the upcoming election and meet our dedicated Progressives members of Parliament in person.
And yes, there will be delicious food and drinks.
We can't wait to see all of our Progressive family and friends here. It's a great opportunity to get involved and stay informed.
So join us at the Seafarers Hall on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. See you there.
Stronger, safer, future. Vote Progressive. Caring and
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Radio Cayman, your #1 community station, would like to remind you that we are in the hurricane season, and in order to survive a hurricane, you need to be prepared. If officials' sources say a hurricane is imminent, please board up or shutter up windows in your home or place of business. Remember to use good lumber, as makeshift boarding may actually cause more damage. Also put strong bracing on outside doors so that they are not blown off or blown in.
This hurricane advice was brought to you by Radio Cayman, your caring community radio station.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we continue the discussion now up until the headlines are 1, and then we talk to our friends at Youth Services Unit, and at 1:30 Quincy Brown will come in. But Mothers Union, the parenting facilitator program over at St. George's, together with Ms. Karen, we have Mr. Debrica. We were asking, and again, for those who's just joining us, you shared prior to the break, the RCIPS officers who have come on board. I'm glad, and amongst all that they have to do, all the demands on their professional lives, they also have, personal responsibilities, and they still find time that helps us because they are now quote unquote upskill. But when does this program start? Talk us through it, if you
So
would.
the first thing that we're having is an information session,
Mhm.
and that will take place on Saturday, the 17th of August at 3 p.m. via Zoom. Previously, we had said it's going to be in the church hall, but we thought, it's a Saturday. It's really, really hot these days. So we thought we would just change it up and just do it via Zoom. So if people go to our website, mothersunionstg.com, the Zoom link is there, so they can just click on the link and join on that Saturday. Or they can email us at mothersunionstg@gmail.com, or get your pen and paper ready and take down my number, 325-0318. Again, give me a call and I'll share the Zoom link with you. For persons out there who are interested in this program, we want our churches on board, we want our civic organizations on board, we want our service clubs on board, schools, because all of us want our families to flourish. Some of the topics that will be covered once we get training ready.
Before you get to the topics, we just want to share that it is completely free of cost.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
It's free of
Because
cost.
sometimes that's the hurdle that we always put in place, right?
Yeah, there's no charge. It's free. And so, in order for families to flourish, some of the things that we will cover are, how to make changes through small habits, nurturing healthy relationships, healthy communication among family members, looking at each other's family members' values and strengths, what it is that we each bring to the family unit, identifying how we can progress as family. My niece who's pregnant, and able, about to have her first child, we're quite excited as a family about that. And we had our little baby tingle, something, anyway. And one of the questions that was asked was, what were you told prior to being pregnant, and what are you experiencing now? And then I had another event where at one of our parenting facilitator sessions, the question that we always ask parents is this: what were you told before you had a child, and what are you experiencing now? And I can tell you that what you're told and what you're experiencing, it's two completely different things. And Flourishing Families, your facilitator, will help you to overcome those challenges. As Debrica said off mic a while ago, we are not expected to discipline children like corporal punishment, etc., but we are supposed to have well-disciplined children. A trained facilitator can help parents navigate those little finer points of parenting. How do you establish those boundaries? How do you deal with a blended family situation where the mother is from the Philippines, the father is Caymanian, the mother is Caymanian, father is Jamaican, mother is from the UK, father is from the United States. Everybody, it's a blended family situation here, and everybody has their own culture that they bring into the mix. The teachers are from different countries. The police officers are from completely different, the person in the supermarket, different cultures, all blending together. But if all of us work together, we can have a society that it's not a perfect union, but it's as close to perfect as we can get it.
We need to stick to using the word. We can have a flourishing society.
Flourishing society.
And I think one of the things you mentioned that will be covered in the program is making changes through small habits. And I think a big problem we make is that we unconsciously pass on the mistakes that our parents made. So because that's how we were parented, oftentimes we're parenting the same way, making the same mistakes and not realizing it. And one of the challenges we faced early on in our parenting program was that parents were somewhat offended that we invited them to a parent program because they thought it meant, oh, you're saying I'm not doing a good job.
Yeah.
And it's not that you are not doing a good job, but it's just an opportunity to equip yourself with the tools to make better decisions so that your children are better off. Yeah, they flourish.
They flourish.
I like it. And to Mr. Baker's point, I wonder, and this is a question that, I wonder to what extent we as parents who seek out, how can we be better equipped? How can we do a better job? Because we all want to nurture, provide the best environment for our children. If we seek out those, what would in our minds, what is our perception of what our parents, our friends, our co-workers, our siblings, or wider community, what would we think that they're thinking of us? And I wonder again if we're thinking they're going to have a negative perception of us, forget about how we may feel for being invited, but just because we may have that perception, we may immediately preclude ourselves from attending, and that level of sort of reluctance to go denies us.
I tell you something, before I started any of this, I thought I was a really good parent. I really did. I mean, my son is 38 years old. He survived, but did he thrive? This is the most important thing. Did I take the dysfunction from my own childhood and bring it into how I raised him? And that is something that, parents, as you say, we have to ask ourselves that question.
I loved what you said. He survived, but did he thrive?
But did he thrive?
Right? Because that is something that I hear. My parents did this and I turned out good. But did you turn out the best you could?
And sadly, will what you have done as a parent in raising your child be replicated in their parenting as you replicated your parents, and then this negative thing just continues without any attempt at redress. So I recognize that we're almost out of time. And
oh really? Oh no!
You were having fun?
I know.
So it is true.
I want to say one thing for the parents who are contemplating it. I think one of the first things you have to do is just acknowledge that you are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And it is okay that you are not perfect. And it's okay that you don't know everything. But be willing to learn. Be open to learning.
Can I ask, and you can choose to answer it now, address it again later, correct it or amend it. Recognizing that we're not perfect, is it okay to seek perfection? To strive for perfection? Is that okay?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't believe that's healthy.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Oh,
that's
really?
like a whole other conversation and we're out of time.
And thank you for, I love the love between the two of you, the fact that, and this is where that healthy discussion comes in, right? Because in asking that, immediately we're called to be Christ-like. Christ is perfection. But there are people who say, oh, you think you're perfect. And I'm striving for that. Others would say, well, I am. And the notion is, how do you get, so I want to infer from what you shared, but I want to come back at some point, maybe during the programming, maybe after, and ask, as we strive to, how do we do the best job we can, always striving to improve.
Yes.
That works. Any closing comments?
Our website, mothersunionstg.com, for the link. The event is on Saturday, 17th August at 3 p.m. via Zoom. You can email us for the link, or you can find the link on our website. You can call us. I'm Karen. It's 325-0318. Email us at mothersunionstg@gmail.com.
Thank you both very, very much.
Thank you for having us.
I hope that we've provided a warm, inviting welcome, and that you would be so inclined, at least if it's not until a year, but hopefully prior to that, we'll come back on and we can talk more about it.
Definitely.
All right. May I, offer prayers for a wonderful, safe week, but also a very fulfilling and successful, next cohort.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, to keep it in stride, when we come back, our friends from the Youth Services Unit will join us, and we invite you to be a part of that discussion.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins. The Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency recently facilitated the planting of 20 native and endemic trees at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School in West Bay, alongside students, prefects, and representatives of the school's Eco Council. This tree planting was supported by a donation by Deloitte to the ministry's National Tree Planting Program. In international news, the World Health Organization has announced plans to send 1.2 million polio vaccines to Gaza after the virus was detected in wastewater. The agency's chief outlined plans for 2 rounds of vaccination, targeting 600,000 children under the age of 8. The first round is due to start on August 17th. Polio is a serious infectious disease that causes a fever and in some cases can lead to paralysis or death. It is spread primarily through contact with fecal matter. Gaza remains the focus of a 10-month-long Israeli military operation, which has left only 16 out of 36 of the territory's hospitals even partially functional. Temperatures could soar over 86 degrees Fahrenheit in some parts of the UK over the weekend and early part of next week. Sunday and Monday are expected to be the hottest days in the southeast of England, according to BBC Weather. Other parts of southern and eastern England, as well as the Midlands and South Wales, may also experience rising temperatures. The hot spell is being linked to Storm Debbie, which has caused severe flooding and heavy rain in the U.S. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott worked the seas for over 52 years, a career which saw him span the global currents. In 1953, he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to bosun. In 1955, he joined National Bulk Carriers, working his way up to able-bodied seaman. In 1959, he signed on the Ore Meteor to go to Marine School in New York, attaining a third mate's license. He joined the Bulk Petrel as third officer, where during one voyage he was solely responsible for using Morse lamp signaling to save a sister ship which had run aground. He continued to flourish and attained second mate, chief mate, master mariner, and radio operator licenses. In October of 1969, he took a job on oil exploration ships as a captain in Brazil. Captain Scott would later move from Brazil, where he spent the next 20 years piloting cruise ships and tankers in Grand Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And now is an opportunity to talk about the Proud of Them Youth Awards from the Youth Services Unit. Miss Camille Angela joins us, and quick reminder: 1:30. We're hoping for an excellent company of Quincy Brown once again. But Miss Camille, when we look at our community. And just prior, Ms. Karen and Mr. Bricker joined us. And here is a congregation extending an invitation to the wider community for not just their contributions of time, their talent, to make sure that as people, how we impact the lives of our families through our parenting, through our children, can be meaningful, can be positive, but can be long-term. And then here we are in the youth services as a way to celebrate. Something you said earlier, and if you don't say it again, I'll prompt you, but we got to make sure that we identify and we nurture, we support that first step until it leads to the podium and the standing ovation and the curtain call.
Yes, most definitely. We were talking a little bit about it off air, but that is the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, the whole feeling behind Proud of Them is that we have to start looking at our youth and considering how they've made such valuable contributions, and they should be recognized for that, and they should also be applauded, but most importantly supported. So we were talking about it, and one of the things that we were saying is that a lot of times we recognize someone when they are a star, but not when they are a flare and they need the flame to be fed and they need the support. They need people that are behind them, that are cheering them on, and that are supporting them, lending resources. And so that's such an important aspect for us to consider about our youth and our community in general. And I can appreciate the previous guest, especially from Mothers Union, talking about the way that they offer community resources to support our youth, our community in general. But this is a really great opportunity. We know a lot of people are familiar with our Proud of Them Youth Awards, so we'll definitely talk a little bit more about them and the inception of the campaign, and for anyone who might not be familiar, so that you can also be a part of that movement of supporting youth and helping to build up the community.
And it's so important. I like when you talked about, let's encourage that flame, because it will become that star. But as you share that off break, immediately I recall the economics concept of the free rider, where everybody's willing, when it's time to feed at the trough, come and enjoy the benefits of all the hard work. But are we willing to help in those early stages, those formative years, to make sure that this thing comes to fruition? We can always come for the photo op at the end of the day with our dress whites, as it were, and look good. But were you there when we were tending the garden and clearing it and getting your hands as you till the soil?
Really important for us to consider those as first steps for supporting our young people. And while we do have an awards program, a lot of people would be familiar with Proud of Them because of the billboards along the side of the island. They're now rebranded to a color that's orange and purple. And they're just a really great reminder of what our young people are doing in different category areas. They're awarded across 6 of them. One of the things that I would definitely say is, even though it looks like it is an awards campaign, there's so many great stories that come out of this and opportunities for those youth to inspire others. One of our several of the young people that were honored last year, but also want to draw some recognition to some of those young people as you're crossing by these different locations. We have Devontae Howell was recognized last year, and his billboard is across from King's Sports Center, and there are many young people that have been honored through this program. It's actually 11 years old this year, and there have been over 160 youth that have been recognized. But definitely, just to underscore again, it's not just about the award, but there's so many inspiring stories of our young people. And it's also a motivator for our community to consider, how are we supporting our young people, or how are we cheering them on? And what are we doing right now to make them see that they are valued?
And recognizing not just the decade plus of recognizing them, but the importance, as you shared, of through their sort of public, profile, they're called to keep raising the bar that inspires their peers. You referenced Devontae, very fitting, very timely. Manu, hers is going east, and you can see that doesn't matter which community you're from, if your billboard is visible to all as we traverse our roadways. is going to.
And those honorees, they have some really great stories.
Yes.
You can actually read a bit more about them on our website at www.youthservices.ky/proud of them. We have profiles or biographies for our honorees every year, and you mentioned even Manu and her participation in sustainability efforts through her business. She has an Eco Eats business as well. So that is, we see a lot of these young people that are they're just making huge contributions, and we want to recognize them from now. We have young teachers who are also recognized, like Ashley Gooden. Yes. So Ashley's really great. She's been a part of several youth services programs, but also honored through Making Waves maybe a couple of years ago. And all of them, they have very distinct accomplishments, and their backgrounds are very different, which is really important for us to see young people who are excelling in different ways, and also knowing that you don't have to all have the same background or story. We know that these are all young Caymanians, but the way that they came to success, they're different stories. All of them are different in their own way. They're making their contributions.
It's interesting that it almost seems that if we were to do a quick, review of the global media, there's more negative. Pick any area, stocks and financial markets. If you look at, family issues, if it doesn't matter, it seems negative that you got to actually consciously try to find positive. And when you do, it's so presented, this is a human interest story. And yet, there's more good than bad.
Yes.
But we seem to, lead with the bad. I say that to share that I like the fact that if we had 100, spaces, we would have 100 people that we could recognize, all deserving.
Yes.
That iron sharpens iron. That notion of, a rising tide floats all ships may cause us.
And as I said, there's several. This campaign has been going, the awards campaign has been going for 11 years now. So over about 160, I would say, about 160 youth have been recognized. And several of them, they're from across the different districts, of course. We have youth here in Grand Cayman, also youth in Cayman Brac that are being recognized at the Proud of Them billboards in both islands. But I think what's really special is that these are awarding categories for the program. So for those who might not be aware, Proud of Them is an annual campaign. We open up and we call for nominations of young people who are excelling, they're exceptional in the different awarding categories. So we have 6 awarding categories. They're academics, sports, culture, business, and then career and community service. So business and career, sometimes we have people ask us to distinguish between those two. Business is for those who have started a business, they're entrepreneurs, or they're working on some kind of entrepreneurial endeavor. And then career is those who are excelling in their career paths. So these 6 awarding categories, they really open up a lot of opportunities to recognize young people in different ways. And we have some really amazing alum. I think year before last, we had Aiden Watler honored in culture. And some of these young people are just they're very profound. And I think maybe Sean Reno Jackson as well. So some of these are young artists, culture makers, and young influencers, young athletes, teachers, as I said, they're entrepreneurs. And I think one of the really great things about this is that it's a very simple process for you to go ahead and nominate someone. So we haven't launched our nomination period just yet, but we'll be looking at launching that in August. And it's actually International Youth Day on Monday. So it's really nice. So we're in the month of August, and we'll be back soon to share as soon as that opens. But it's a very simple process. We moved it online. So you just need to go to www.youthservices.ky/proud of them, and then you'll be able to click onto the nomination form. You will fill in a testimonial, like no more than 500 words about the young person that you're nominating. You'll put in their contact details, so put in their phone number, their email address, and you'll be able to state, why you think this young person has excelled so much. You can choose up to 2 awarding categories. So if you think they've been great in academics and sports, then go ahead and nominate them in both of those areas. If you think that they've just been very strong consistently in culture in that area, and it's one area, you can also just nominate them in that one area. And then once you provide those contact details, that form is then, you'll hit submit, and that young person will receive notification that someone just anonymously has nominated them. So it's not even something that would take you a lot of time, but it would have such a huge impact on them, for them to feel that recognition, to know that they're supported. And then what they'll be prompted to do is to submit some additional documents to us to back up that nomination. So if they've been nominated in culture, they may be asked, can you tell us more about if you've been involved in cultural organizations, whether that's, supporting or volunteering with CNCF or maybe the National Gallery or, National Museum or wherever it may be. Maybe you're part of the folk singers group. You'll have an opportunity then as a nominee to tell us that. And then you can also attach some supporting information. Say you were involved in helping with planning or performing several times. Maybe you performed over the years at Red Sky at Night. Maybe you participated in one of, in a major initiative with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Or maybe there was different ways. Maybe you went and represented Cayman at a steel pan competition, and you've been doing that every year, and you've been adding to that field, and maybe you've been recognized as Musician of the Year. There may be so many ways that you've been contributing to the community, but we definitely get quite a lot of nominations. We got over 100 last year, and it's okay to nominate someone. Like, for instance, if I nominate Jane and maybe her teacher doesn't realize, but they also nominate Jane, it's okay. Just go ahead and put in your nominations, and we'll be able to see.
What is probably, what I'm hearing, Ms. Camille, is that if you nominate someone and someone else nominates, great. That's better than you thinking, the teacher's going to nominate, and everybody's thinking someone else, and then the person isn't nominated.
That's a part of our responsibility as a community. If we're going to recognize young people, it's a very simple process. Go ahead, it's 500 words. Once that young person then submits their information, then the nomination is complete, and it can be reviewed by the selection committee. Like I said, last year, over 100 or over 100 nominations. And please, even if you can, of course, ask us if you are not sure if someone had already been recognized, but we definitely encourage you, don't just leave it to someone else to do it, because it might never get done. If you, like you gave the example, we know our teachers are super busy. If you know someone, nominate them. And it's a really great recognition measure. So once that young person is successful, there are 15 honorees that are recognized, and they're across a variety of awarding categories. As I said, this is Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac. And last year, for the 10th year anniversary of Proud of Them, there was a new category that was introduced for Rising Stars. So those are the young people that they are also doing really great, just right outside of the scores of the 15. But they need to be recognized because they've really been, doing very well. And those ones, one of the things I would say is, even if you have submitted to Proud of Them before, just note that there are a lot of really impressive applicants every year. So even if your pick for last year might not have been chosen, recognized in the way you wanted, you can still submit a nomination this year as well, because they might have gone and represented us in more ways. They might have taken on more projects. They might have done things that added to their resume for the consideration of the selection committee. So don't feel disheartened. Just go ahead, and we still encourage you, raise that to our attention so that we can see what these young people are doing.
So that person who wishes to nominate someone can nominate more than one person?
Yes, they can, and self-nominations are also allowed. So if you feel like you're a young person whose age is 10 to 25, which is the age range for this, has been excelling in any of those 6 categories, it could be academics, sports, culture, business, career, and community service, then go ahead, you can nominate yourself as well. Okay. So it will just be the same exact process. You'll be putting in your information as the nominator, and then you would still put in your contact information. You'll receive that prompt to submit further information. Send us the information. I would definitely encourage you to fill out the form correctly. Just read through it and submit the information that's asked for. But if you want to share other information with us, go ahead. You might have newspaper clippings. You might have a picture of your trophy that you won. There may be things that you really want to share with the selection committee. So please do, and do so, and also encourage. If you submit a nomination, please keep that act going and encourage someone else to nominate a young person so we have a chain reaction. Yeah.
And this is that level of, building our community, recognizing that many of us, a parent, teacher, just, coach or a friend may say to someone a very encouraging word, but here is for the step, so that the rest of us can see the great things that we see in this person. I like what you talked about, we need to ignite, that spark. We need to, nurture that flame, and not just
so many great applicants. I mean, if you can imagine, that's so hard. I'm glad I'm not on the selection committee because it's really hard to narrow down with all of the wonderful things that our young people are doing. And I know you had mentioned earlier that, sometimes when people talk about youth, they talk about them in a disparaging way, or, oh, well, things were not always like this. And it's hard for us to see the world changing, but there's still good in the world, and there's still some really, there's still some really inspiring stories that, we see a lot of young people that are doing great things, and we also need to remember that. This is a really great reminder anytime I'm driving around and I see the billboards, because because on our side at the Youth Services Unit, we're seeing the biographies of those honorees. And as I mentioned, there are 15 honorees. There are 2 rising stars, so that's 17 youth, but the 15 are those that are featured around Island as the awardees. And when I see them, I actually just remember their stories. So as you were telling me about, as you were mentioning some of the honorees, I remember my interactions with them. I remember some of the really great things they've said. And you can't see it from a billboard, but those young people, they stay engaged. They stay doing great stuff. They stay adding to their, whole contribution to the community. They keep it up. They're definitely they keep doing well. And encouraging. It's motivating. I like seeing it.
They inspire others, but I think from just the interaction, they too are inspired but also motivated to continue to excel because they see the importance of it. And it is just my view, but it is to me that they are now seeing a responsibility to even continually try, and that improvement improves others, right?
And I think the Rising Stars was a great initiative to introduce, because again, like I said, it's hard to choose because there are so many great applicants, and we really and truly are proud of them. It's a great initiative. It's for youth aged 10 to 25 years old, excellence in any of those 6 awarding categories. You can read about it on our website. It's www.youthservices.ky/proud of them. And that will also be the same location when we're ready to launch our nomination form, where you can go ahead and nominate them. And I think that what's really great about this is it's just a growing movement. It's a growing movement to support youth. It's so much more than just being proud of them. It's it's how they inspire us too.
Yes.
So there's actually, for anyone who's reading the billboards, there's a tagline on the billboard that says inspiration in action.
Yeah.
And they really are inspiration in action. If you want to get to know about any of them, go ahead on our website at www.youthservices.ky and just read more about them. You would be so inspired. We have from last year as well, Matthew Bawden, Monina Thompson, many of these young people you'd be familiar with in their community service aspects as well. So there's some really great inspiration in action that comes behind this campaign.
And I recognize that they not only sort of inspire their peers, they actually inspire a lot of their parents and the wider community, the adults.
Yeah.
And Scripture talks about don't let them despise you because of your youth, but it also reminds us that from the mouth of babes. So if we are that community that gives not just the prominence and the promotion, but that level of prompting to our young, we will get there. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to our continued discussions as you have the nomination period open. We as a the wider community scrambling to make multiple nominations. Any closing thoughts, Ms. Camille?
Just to encourage you again to nominate. When we launch that nomination period for the Proud of Them Youth Awards, they're 10 to 25 years old. If you know someone, nominate them. I'm sure that they will fall within those 6 awarding categories. And as a closing thought as well, on the same topic of resources, would like to invite some of our students that might be ready to or considering going into college. The Youth Services Unit is actually hosting a panel discussion this weekend. It's the 10th of August, Saturday from 3 to 5 at the Intergenerational Hub, which is right next to DHL behind Foster's Airport. And you, as a young person who might be interested in going away to school, can learn a lot from the panel. The panelists will be talking about their experiences. It's called Beyond the Islands, the Realities of Being an Overseas Student. So just email us at info.ysu@gov.ky, or you can call us at 943-1127 about that, or even Proud of Them if you're interested in getting a kickstart and you have someone in mind and you need any advice from us for how to use the form or anything. But when that's ready, that will launch. And we're really excited about that. As I said, International Youth Day on Monday. There's a lot that's happening this throughout this month, but definitely to encourage you, please apply, nominate a Proud of Them youth when that nomination period goes live.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to come in. We're glad that we can offer this opportunity, and hopefully we start to see that through our support, our encouragement, and the space that we provide, our young people will excel as their desire. So thanks very much, Ms. Camille.
Thank you, Mr. Sterling.
All right, well, we're going to pause and take a break, and when we return, Quincy Brown finds his way in the studio. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
The rich flavors of Italy just arrived at Subway. Say ciao to the Italianos. Our 3 new Subway series recipes, carefully crafted with an Italian flair. Try the Hot Shot Italiano for an enticing and zesty touch. The tastier than ever Ultimate BMT, generously stuffed with a mix of ham, pepperoni, and salami. Or go all in with the creamy chicken bacon Alfredo. New Subway series Italianos. Chef-crafted greatness in every bite. Elevate your game only at Subway. Delizioso.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Hi everyone, I'm Roy McTaggart, and I'm here with Joey Hugh to tell you about an exciting Progressives event coming up.
That's right, Roy. we're inviting all members and friends of the Progressives to our National Council meeting.
It's happening on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at the Seafarers Association Hall, 11 Victory Avenue in Prospect.
Join us to hear about our plans and bold vision for the upcoming election and meet our dedicated Progressives members of Parliament in person.
And yes, there will be delicious food and drinks.
We can't wait to see all of our Progressive family and friends here. It's a great opportunity to get involved and stay informed.
So join us at the Seafarers Hall on Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. See you there.
Stronger, safer, future. Vote Progressive. Caring and
Refer a friend and get $50 to spend when your friend or family member opens a personal account with Cayman National. From July 9th to September 30th, 2024, C&B customers can earn $50 for each referral who opens an individual or joint personal account. Earn up to $500 with a maximum of 10 referrals. Visit caymannational.com for more details on this promotion and follow us on social media for updates. Terms and conditions apply.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment has worked to protect and conserve the unique plants, animals, and habitats that make the Cayman Islands so special. Learn more at conservation.ky.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And in the studio now, Mr. Quincy Brown. If you would mind me saying, very, very grateful to the Honorable Tourism Minister, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, the other day, as he was coming in for his scheduled appointment. He reached out to you, you're here, and said, hey, want to join me? And two things, one, the receptiveness and responsiveness that we see in engaging our people, but also you being the intellect, prepared. Almost, people don't appreciate how things happen that are ordained at times. So the timeliness. Quincy Brown, how are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator. Thank you so much indeed for having me on your show. I'd like to thank you as host of Talk Today. And I should also like to thank the Director of Broadcasting, Ms. Norma Macfield, for affording me this opportunity. Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir. An amazing lady, her, Miss Paulette, phenomenal leadership. As we get into our discussion, two things, I've said this often and hopefully responsibly, but we need to ensure that in our society we recognize, reward, and respect our people. We provide the forum, we provide the nurturing, the assistance, the guidance, the resources, all the things, right? And in saying that, I reflect on the first time I sort of met you. Paul Keynes Douglas, is
Yes.
You remember that?
I do recall.
It wasn't, a day, many moons ago.
A long time ago. I'm thinking maybe 1996.
You might be thinking before that.
Even before that. Yeah.
You held your own on that stage.
Thank you.
Right? And I say that sometimes we don't see what is before us. We don't see the promise and the potential within our people. But maybe we do, and we're unwilling to nurture and to embrace for whatever reason. But here you are, a few days later, still with an amazing gifting.
Thank you.
And whether it's through, what was it, QB Entertainment Services? Now?
QB's Entertainment Services. Well, it's been said, and my very good friend and mentor, Moses Kirkernel, once said to me, Quince, it's always about being ready for opportunities when they present themselves.
Yeah.
And, of course, Minister Kenneth Bryan very recently had me on. That was serendipitous in the sense that we didn't plan it. But again, the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, said, come on in with me, be a guest. And it just happened. But it has opened new doors. Thank you again.
You're most welcome. Here, he as tourism minister, at that occasion I referenced at the Hartwell many moons ago, was also a tourism minister, Mr. Tom Jefferson.
I have very good memories of the late former tourism minister Thomas Jefferson, in that when we went to Tampa back in 1995, Angela Martins would have been the director of tourism at that time. We did a Cayman promotional series, blah, blah, blah. And Thomas Jefferson, the late, of blessed memory, was the Minister of Tourism at that time. And Miss Angela Martins, who was always very supportive as Director of Tourism, then said, let's give this young man a chance. We're going to take him to Tampa as we promote the Cayman Islands. And in those days, a lot of money was spent on promoting Cayman overseas. I think Swanky has done an amazing job. Swanky was in the northeast coast of the United States recently, spreading traditional Caymanian music. Let me tell you something. You talk about culture, heritage, and tourism combined. That was amazing.
and it shows what we can do, very much like what our seafarers have in positioning us, right? So with your presence now, I'm hoping that people would pursue your passion. You have committed dedication, but we all need a level of coaching, counseling, whatever that thing is. We can be better if we apply ourselves, but also we need to have people to help guide us. It's unfortunate that we don't always see that until it's too late. Now it isn't, but through you, I've had the good fortune of being in the audience when you're emceeing, to being part of the promoting part and contracting you, and never ever coming away disappointed.
Thank you.
So whether tell us about this venture.
Well, it's a fledgling company. I've just launched it. I was sitting at home thinking I'm unemployed. I'm applying for jobs. I'm not hearing anything from anybody. You're applying to get financial assistance from the country's dole, and they're saying we'll give you something to eat, but we don't want to give you $1,200 a month, just like that. That's a process. I get that. But the good news is, why sit at home and become, what's the word I'm looking for, despondent, because I'm putting in perhaps 30 application forms a month on average, maybe 12 some months, but I'm flooding the Cayman market with my resume and I'm applying for jobs and I'm not hearing back. But then someone says, you have to do follow-up calls, Quincy. Well, the good news is I'm starting to get some calls from some of these places I've applied to. But for a long time, from February, I've been actively seeking work and nothing coming. The bills are coming in. So I had a moment, an enlightened moment, a moment where perhaps the Holy Spirit spoke to me and says, Quincy, I've blessed you with talents. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. Trust in God. Seek God first. God has blessed me with many talents. I didn't go to university for those talents. I've done specialized courses to hone the talents. So the talents allows me now to butter my bread. So let's launch QB's Entertainment Services. And because I am a law-abiding citizen these days, I applied for a business and trade license, so I am legal to conduct business in this jurisdiction called the Cayman Islands. So what services do I offer? I offer the services of Master of Ceremonies, Maestro de Ceremonia in Espanol. I can also provide radio commercials and television commercials.
So voice talent. Yeah.
It's a voice talent, of which is not free. Somebody said, well, Quincy, you're freelance and you're doing it for free. Why? Freelance? I said, darling, TD, look here, it called freelance, but not free, because look, I got butter my bread, you hear me now.
And you went churn,
churn the butter.
Okay, so
no.
Come on, I'll try to not be too jovial.
Let me tell you something. If I'm happy that you make a comfortable salary here at Radio Cayman, but if
I make a very comfortable salary. Come on now.
And you do a good job, but that's not the point though. If you wanted to supplement it by doing stand-up comedy, Sterling, look here, you got a natural knack,
So they would pay me not against stage, are you telling me?
They would pay you to be a stand-up comedy, just how you have the dynamic Sukin Ziegel, you could have the dynamic Sterling and Quincy, and we could actually make money.
You think so?
But I'm telling you so. But it's not all about the money.
Lynn is laughing at that joke.
You see what I mean? Oh yes, look at him. Is that his false teeth dropping out there?
No.
Look at that, The audience can't see that, eh?
Luckily.
But
so MC, the master, what's it? Maestro de
Ceremonia. Master of Ceremonies.
Okay.
And of course I have different rates. And somebody said, well, when you go on air, let us know your rates. No. Anyone who's in this business realize we just say the rates are very competitive. If you would like more information on the various services offered, what's the cost to MC? What's the cost to do a 30-second radio commercial, Quincy? What's the cost if... On a hill far away. Because these days I'm singing mostly at funerals and not baby showers. Look here. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to sing at wedding anniversaries, staff parties and receptions? But a lot of people are transitioning to the other side. So yes, I'll sing at your funeral, but then look here. They say, well, from Nicaragua I calling, from now I coming back to Cayman to bury my grandaunt, but you're not going to charge us for that now, Quincy. And you feel something doesn't seem right when you go to a church, any church, and charge someone to sing. It just doesn't seem right. We do offer services pro bono. I was at the West Bay Library on the 15th to the 19th of July with the wonderful Mrs. Marcia Davis, who is at the Redley Powery West Bay Library. She was my supervisor there, and I volunteered for an entire week, giving back to the community, leading a poetry workshop. So I do give back to the community, a community that has been so very good to me. May I just take 20 seconds to say happy birthday, Mr. Charlie Bush of West Bay, 100 years today, and happy birthday to Captain Edley Martin of Cayman Brack. I respect both men. I've got a good sense of humor from Charlie. You look at Bobo, you now bring me my soldier from Cayman Brack, and then of course, Edley Martin, Captain Edley Martin, has always said to me, given me sage advice, when you're starting over, young man, any job you go at, you have to start at the bottom rung of a ladder.
Yeah.
You're not going to become the CEO overnight. So I want to thank Captain Edley for that advice. Start at the bottom rung and work your way up. I've gone over 20 seconds. Happy birthday, Charlie.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Captain Edley.
I'm only going to invite you to stay with us. Let's have a quick break. When we come back, only share with us because, people need to understand the talent we have, but sometimes we don't always respect it and we don't give people the opportunity. So stay with us, Quincy. Let's have that discussion after we come back from the break.
Thank you.
It's that time of year again. Cayman Airways is celebrating its anniversary with airfares on sale. Tickets are now on sale for some of your favorite destinations: Miami, Tampa, New York, Los Angeles, Kingston, La Ceiba, Panama, Havana, and even Cayman Brack and Little Cayman. But hurry, this sale ends August 10th. Other conditions apply. Book online at CaymanAirways.com or call 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 56 years as Cayman's award-winning national airline.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And in our studio, Mr. Quincy Brown, and just a few extra minutes with him. Well, I shouldn't say that because I asked him for extra, but he's committed to it. Can I read this? As it's said, so what an incredibly talented man Quincy is. I didn't bother to change. That's how it was written. Quincy, we recognize
Thank you.
The talent in you. And as I've shared, too many times we don't see the need to celebrate that, to guide and nurture it. And other people in other places will have phenomenal success. And sometimes those people who come get a chance to not just start over. They got to continue. But we won't do it for our own. So I'm hopeful that this is a start.
That's going to change. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, man.
Because win, one win, we all win. When we all win, one win.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't help again but to underscore the resounding success of Mr. Samuel Rose, who's band leader, and Swanky Kitchen Band. Their recent East Coast tour of the United States. Let me tell you something. What a time to be Caymanian. I mean, there have been other bands who've gone to the United States. Many other bands, I'm sure, over the years. But for the first time, the musical component in the Library of Congress, Sundance music is now recorded. Not only did they perform to sold-out shows, they're spreading a Caymanian vibe. And that excites me because Swanky's there. I'm in Georgetown watching it unfold on these live videos, and I'm getting excited.
Exactly.
Two things that has just made us proud as a Caymanian people. Swanky in the United States, spreading traditional Caymanian music, which people like Cotton Radley and the Happy Boys of East End, they're not turning in their graves. They're rejoicing in heaven and clapping their hands of how the Caymanian music being preserved and carried on. Mr. Duxie from West Bay. And then, of course, we were very proud last week when we gathered at Constitutional Hall in front of the television screen as we watched a young Caymanian Olympian make history as the first Caymanian Olympian to make it and qualify to the finals. So everybody in their Cayman shirts. So what I'm saying is, this is bigger than me,
But
this is bigger than me. I want Cayman to win. We all win. Culture, music, arts, heritage, tourism.
So we're going to do two things. One, before we take the call, I just want to read, this person says, God blessings be with you and all the staff. And says, God's blessings, love and guidance to this wonderful young man, Quincy.
Thank you.
So let's take this next call. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Oh, not bad, Mr. Sterling.
All right. From one Brown to the next.
Yes.
And Mr. Quincy, I want to say congratulations. This is the other Mr. Brown.
I recognize the voice. We see each other every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where we Caymanians now congregate.
Every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Perhaps there are times you see me and I don't.
Go ahead. I wish you all the best in
Thank
what
you.
you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope it becomes a great success.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that, Mr. Brown.
Yeah. And to thank you, sir, and to our listeners, I know
that was kind. That was kind of Mr. Brown to call into. to offer support.
He's another amazing person.
He's an artist. He's talented. He's ran for office before, and I see him at least 3 times a week.
I hope he's doing it again.
Where all Caymanians seem to gather on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This too shall pass.
This too, yeah. we won't touch that now, right?
Well,
but we will. But we want to focus on you because I know you only have a few extra minutes with us because of your other commitments, right?
Correct.
But I'm honored that you were allowing us to showcase you, celebrate you. Very timely. Our discussion earlier with our friends at St. George's and their Mothers Union. Just then, Ms. Camille and the Service Union talking about the proud of them.
Yes.
Here we are. We can be very proud of you. And as you were taking us through some of the services, sometimes we don't understand that waiting at the church, the reception at the church hall, even the funeral, we may be required and asked of the church for a fee, or we maybe feel, and understand the importance of providing some funding for the use of that facility. But sometimes we don't appreciate that voice talent for the commercial, that performance as an MC. We pay other people, but we don't pay our own.
There's a saying that goes, do you know the definition of an expert? The guy from the other town or another country. Yeah, we have to pay our own. Even if it's an honorarium. It may not be a salary or a stipend, but even an honorarium. Because how would you treat our friends coming in from the Caribbean or North America? Yeah. We bring them here, we pay them handsomely. But now you have to offer the quality product.
As you tell us what you have, and I'm going to be respectful of your time, we do have one other call. Can we take that?
With your permission, granted.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dwayne. Good afternoon, Mr. Quincy. I'm delighted to hear you on Radio Cayman, and very pleased to hear that you have something lined up to try make a success, and I wish you all the very best in your endeavors to get that established.
Thank you, Mr.
And I fully support you.
Thank you.
Everything. And good afternoon to Ms. Susan and to all our listeners.
Thank you very much, Captain Scott. You continue to do what you do too, making sure that we keep those ships safe, bringing them in when we need to blow the horn, to honor our seamen and those who are deceased. You have a role to play in our community. You play it every day. We say thank you, Captain Raymond Scott. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Yeah.
So it's important that I get the phone number out there, Mr. Moderator, with your permission, because I have a personal phone number, which I won't give out on air. I mean, I could, but I'll give the business number. So I know those who are driving right now, it's kind of difficult to write and drive, but I'll say the number slowly. Or perhaps right now there's someone who's just, Quincy, can get a number. Let me go ahead and get the pen. I'll give you a moment to get that pen, because I want you to write this number down, because I can be there to provide a service, whether it's at a funeral, a wedding, or a staff function. What about your high school reunion coming up? You need entertainment? The number is 517-4860. That number again is 517-4860. 517-4860. That's the business number for QB's Entertainment Services. QB stands for Quincy Brown. And you can also send us an email, qbsentertainmentservices@gmail.com. We do check our emails, and the phone is answered in the Cayman Islands, not Gibraltar, not Manila. We actually answer the phone here. Because, with AI and with diversifying now, we can have calls answered wherever in the world.
So it's 517-4860.
517-4860. That's the number for QB's Entertainment Services. And if you want to send an email, all together, no spaces, QBS entertainmentservices@gmail.com. QBS entertainmentservices@gmail.com. Lowercase altogether, no spaces. Looking forward to being your master of ceremonies. We've had 3 clients so far. 3. And this is a fledgling business, just going a month and a half, maybe 2 months, because I had to wait for my business and trade license once I got that, and thank God I got that. So in other words, I've received a call from, and we have 3, I think. We have 3 parties, alliances, teams. I've gotten a call from one of our political parties, of which I've done some work for. I've gotten a call from a high school to do a 30-second commercial. And I've gotten many calls. I'm not going to include this, but many calls to do funerals, because I'm always giving back to the community. It's not always about the money, because guess what? Cayman has been very good to me. There are times I'm thinking, Lord, how am I going to get that light bill paid? And I pray. And of course, I love when members of parliament, not calling any names, because you don't want to create a lifestyle where you're living on handouts, but sometimes you run into an MP who'll say, here's $100. You're doing well, I'm proud of you. Sometimes if you're really lucky, they'll say, Quincy, come here. Yes, sir. Here's $300. But it's not a handout. We're looking at a hand up. But look here, until I can get back on my feet, and thank God I'm slowly getting there, I do appreciate when a member of the church or a member of parliament say, look here, Bobo, see $100, yeah? Or see $300. They do from time to time. Because if you check the status, I'm considered unemployed, even though I am starting to get calls from potential employers, meaning if I get a call, let's just say I applied for a job in the private sector, or I've applied for a job within government. I've applied for both. QB's entertainment services would slow down if I'm landed with a full-time job tomorrow. You realize that? I'm doing this because I don't have a 9-to-5 with the private sector or with government. So I am being innovative. I'm using...
Entrepreneur.
That's the word. Is that a French word, Mr. Ebanks? Tell me now.
Oh, I say it in English, so I'm not quite sure.
I say it in English. I like how you put that. So the time goes so quickly. So the services we offer at QB's Entertainment Services, I sing. Now, the price, if you say to me, my wife and I are having our anniversary, Quincy, just come and sing us one love song. There's only you in my life.
Or wasted days and
I have wasted too many days and too many nights. I no longer drink. But I see your point. But if that's the song you wanted because you're the paying customer, Quincy, why don't you come and sing Wasted? Then, don't you remember the day when you went away? So in other words, that fee would not be the same as if, let's just say, Devonport or Ogia said we want to hire you for $1,000 to MC this Christmas staff party. Different rate. Different
commitments.
Different commitment.
Yeah.
So I sing, I do storytelling, I do stage shows, I do stand-up comedy. I also do poetry workshops, drama tutoring, speech tutoring, because people say to me, Quincy, we like the sound of your voice. We like how you're able to enunciate and pronunciate. And, you know, I have someone who wants to get into the business of talking with you. Yeah, I have been paid up to $50 an hour to coach at the university level. And others, obviously, sometimes if you're a minor, parents will be there. It's building that trust, obviously. But yes, to be able to speak properly. Now, I'll never forget, many years ago, someone paid me to talk Caymanian. We want to learn how to talk Caymanian. Going up directly, guy and get a piece of soft, because I will come back to give it to Papa. They but look, I don't want you getting about catching no gap. See, that's a different language completely. That's the Caymanese language. And look here, all the mitatum piece. I didn't realize.
All the Kiptons, right?
All the Kiptons. Caymanians from West Bay say directly. In Cayman we say rectly. It means the same thing.
Yeah.
I shall be with you directly. Directly.
But it's recognizing the importance of the vernaculars, supporting and promoting the colloquialisms, but also understanding, as you have, right, that eloquence that comes through elocution and appreciative, Quincy, of I marvel, as you know, at you. Sometimes
Thank you.
I question when we have in a chat, am I too harsh sometimes, right? Because I don't mince words with you.
Well,
I just respect you, man.
The country doesn't.
Amazing. You're amazing.
The country doesn't. Our senior leaders and those in different departments, and we know the sectors of government, the judicial, the administrative, they're all very strict with me because they know who I am and they know.
We have high expectations.
That's
of you.
just it. That's just it. So yes, I comply, I listen, and I adhere these days.
And you're going to be an example that we can follow. You're going to be someone who we celebrate.
Thank you.
Because, well, go ahead, my friend.
No, it's 2:00 and it's time for me to press on. I'm thanking you for the time. I'll just close by saying I will no longer avoid failure. It is a normal part of life. I will take risks. I will do my best. When I do fail, I will learn from it and move on. Failure is my springboard to success. And I will never give up as long as I know I'm right. And I support God because God supports me. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. I believe all things will work out for me if I don't quit.
Yeah.
I will be courageous.
That's the important call, Quincy.
That's it. So
we're going to pause. Join us after.
Thank you very much, QB's Entertainment Services.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. The Cayman Islands National Insurance Company has announced that as of August 9, 2024, they will be offering home insurance policies featuring a first-in-market benefit, parametric insurance coverage, which pays out pre-agreed amounts automatically to cover incidental expenses without the need to submit a claim in the event of a hurricane of a Category 3 or above, which passes within a specified distance from the Cayman Islands. In international news, Greek pole vaulter Eleni Claudia Polak has been provisionally suspended from the Paris Olympics after failing a doping test, the International Olympic Committee has said. 27-year-old Polak competed in the qualification round on Monday, clearing 4.20 meters but failed to get over 4.40 and subsequently did not reach Wednesday's final. Greece's anti-doping agency informed the Greek Olympic Committee of the violation on Monday. Police in Austria have intensified security measures around the 3 Taylor Swift concerts taking place in Vienna on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. The move follows the arrests on Wednesday of 2 people suspected of planning Islamist attacks on large events in the area around Vienna, including the concerts by the U.S. superstar. The general director for public security, Franz Ruff, said a 19-year-old Austrian citizen was arrested on Wednesday morning in Turnitz in the province of Lower Austria. He said a second arrest took place in Vienna in the afternoon, but gave no further details about the suspect. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
You can now renew your driver's license or motor vehicle license online, and you don't need an ESID number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit www.dvdl.gov.ky.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Quincy Brown for allowing us a few minutes to, in the spirit of celebrating and showcasing the amazing talent that we have in the community. I look at what the Youth Services Unit has been doing, for the past decade plus, and they're proud of their youth awards. And this way, having that conversation with Quincy Brown just then is another reminder that we have, not just a duty and obligation, it's incumbent upon us to help. As Mr. Art reminds us every day, we are our brother's keeper. And so when we can, perhaps through not just a kind word and an encouraging nod, sometimes it's actually helping to navigate that space. So, very proud of Quincy. He's going to continue to make us proud, and as he is, taking out his trade business license, QB's Entertainment Services. I hope he doesn't mind. He hasn't asked me, but I remember on occasions, contracting him, coming an MC, and a phenomenal talent. For those who have done that, it's a lot of work. And when we see people doing it, whether here and other places, they are not always doing it for free. Many times, it's how they make their, as I said, their bread is buttered. Maybe we don't see, just like we don't appreciate that artist who has now put this masterpiece on a canvas. It could be in some other medium, but that's a talent, and we don't always appreciate what it is and what it means. Just like the person with a voice who can not only, share it in a way that is familiar or funny, but in a way that is appealing. And Quincy has that talent, as do many of our own. I always say, there by the grace of God go I. My success, my survival, the thriving, by any stretch of the imagination, is not because of me or my own efforts and endeavors. For those who have drawn alongside me, who have sowed in a good seed into helping me, that's why I think it happens, and it's through prayer, but faith with the works is dead. So we got to work as well as allow others to, help. Well, what's on your mind? It's a Wednesday. I probably can't tell you exactly what day it is in the month of August. And you might go, that's true, eh? What date is it? Well, we're just glad that we know it's probably Wednesday. And for some of us, we wish Monday would start over and we were prayerful that it's Friday in our minds. But we make hay, as they say, while the sun shines. So what's on your mind? 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call, 925-32621. You can also choose to use the Flow toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. I'll give you something to think about. And it's sort of made me stop and go, what's that song, DJ? The things that make you go, I've always believed that we have allowed politics to become about personalities. It's almost like the miscongeniality, as it were. I always champion that it should be about the policies and the principles and never the personalities. To only, in recent times, again, not deliberately, just as I'm scanning the news media globally, to hear many who have shared, in the U.S. elections, this election, referring to the upcoming presidential election in the U.S., it's about personalities, not policies. And I had to stop for a second and reflect on that. I'll continue in a minute, but first, let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Well.
How are you?
Not too bad, and you?
I am
What's
well.
What's happening? Everything is good?
You ever heard, I don't know if many would recognize it, but you guide me in saying it. We would hear when somebody say, what happened? You say, I'm going to kill the captain.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that in a while, I bet.
Not in a while, no.
Yep.
No. Sterling,
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
so much to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We need some more time and more days, look like on these radio stations, because the population is growing rapidly. Sterling, into the grocery stores is like on the road with traffic. They want to run over in the grocery store with their cars. They want to back up into your shoulder. It's just as bad as the roads.
And that is now? I mean, you're talking about now during the summer, or this was a few months ago?
Right now, yes. I'm talking about the that day when Hurricane came and left, the store was quiet. But they're building up again now, getting busy again, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But Sterling, the nasty attitude and the disrespectfulness in the eyes of customers is unreal for. You would say, excuse me, sir. They look at you like you're speaking another language, not English. And I hope my English is not that bad.
But if I want, just to make sure I don't misunderstand, in listening to what you just shared, I'm gathering that it isn't actually whether they're speaking English or some other language. It's that the fact that their attitude, behavior, and disposition is so different that they seem to be. Yeah. Okay. And that's what I think I've had a discussion very early this morning, again late yesterday, with someone that's talking about the attitude, the character, the lack of almost, humanity and consciousness, and the virtues that we thought or were taught to be important are no longer valued, appreciated, nor expected.
Value, not appreciated. Sterling, sorry, I don't know what the plans are for Cayman, because every day something is coming out different, what they plan on doing, but nothing seems to come with a hit on it to say, well, this is going to work, or we got to try to make this work. Sterling is like everybody running around with his cut off, and as soon as you bump into them in traffic or in the grocery store, a restaurant door that they let off in your face, is like a bombshell want to go off. Like that's not supposed to happen. And Sterling, I don't know how much of the world news that people is watching. Sterling, this island is very small, and people probably think I'm talking foolishness. This island is very small, Sterling. And with the population that is growing rapidly in this island, I want to know who thinks for a second that things can happen in Cayman. And Sterling, I would hate to know that anything of violence happen here in this island. But Sterling, we don't know who we letting into this island anymore. People kicks off when they're ready. To talk about mental health, it seems like our mental health situation is growing in this island. And it seems like it's not on the full 150, 200% agenda for this island, for the population that we keep adding to on a daily basis, not no monthly, daily and hourly, by the flags coming in here to this island. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, Sterling, I don't know what's going to become of this island, but the congestion here and there, the bottlenecking in the grocery stores, the attitude, it ain't not good, Sterling. I know we was in Price right a while ago, and this gentleman was trying to cross, and we were making space for him. We said sorry. That man looked at us as we were crazy. He looked at us as if we were crazy. So, you see, Sterling, nobody's perfect. When I go to another man's country, we didn't learn to respect it. We need to learn to respect who we come across. And I know I want to talk about something else too, but I'm not going to work right now with what we were talking about just a couple of days ago. I need more time for that, but I want to say something. I want to say something. The garbage, the garbage on this island, Sterling, is getting worse and worse by the hour and by the day. These gardeners are dropping their stuff on the roads and leaving it there and not stopping or returning to pick it up. We need these gardeners to cover up their trucks properly when they are hauling these things on our roads or anywhere that they're traveling to take it where they want to take it to. If they don't have it covered up properly, there should be a $500 fine. And believe me, the first two that get picked up with that, I can guarantee you that everybody will start covering up this stuff. We got trailers out here, Sterling, don't have no light on them, don't have no license plate on them, and it's a health hazard on our main street. And nothing is being done on this island when it comes to safety. We're just taking everything for granted.
Well, I'm hoping that as you share that we'll be mindful of all of us to be conscious, whether we're taking, our garden clippings, whether, as you shared, as you take the next break, what else you want to share?
People is going to people's homes and businesses and removing hot water heaters, air conditions, and so forth, and stopping down the road and throwing them off in the bush. That person got paid to remove that from that person's yard, but yet it becomes a piece of garbage on our main street. Or, we call it cleanup people would come out to pick it up, whatever the case may be. Sterling, we need some serious laws in this island because the population is growing rapidly, and we don't know who we're bringing in. The fingerprint machine, they refuse to bring that up for work purpose. I don't know. Look at the individual who was here that been here for 10 years. Now they got to take government money and waste to go take him to court to try him. They just need to go in and have two person escort him back to his country. That's all that boils down to. And he probably, I don't know if he locked up. I don't know now, don't get me wrong. But if he locked up too, we are feeding him, so he's still at bay. He just getting some rest. Because once he come back on the road, he gone again.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that as we listen to you, we'll take on board, those things that would benefit us. Hey, thank you very much, all right?
Yes, we talk later, babe.
I'm looking forward to it. When we come back, we'll take the next caller. But as we go into the break, I want to listen to what you say, respect begets respect. And we get a couple more minutes for Quincy Brown to close out the program, so stay tuned for Talk Today.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
It's that time of year again. Cayman Airways is celebrating its anniversary with airfares on sale. Tickets are now on sale for some of your favorite destinations: Miami, Tampa, New York, Los Angeles, Kingston, La Ceiba, Panama, Havana, and even Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. But hurry, this sale ends August 10th. Other conditions apply. Book online at CaymanAirways.com or call 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 56 years as Cayman's award-winning national airline.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And of course, as we take this next call, just a quick reminder, if you are able to see us as you listen on the radio, watch us on YouTube and Facebook, he was able to return from what he had scheduled to finish out a few minutes with us. So Quincy Brown, as we listen, we'll talk, but let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Captain.
Now, how are you today? Man, you are a good voice to hear. Been too long and not too often, man. So hope you're good.
I know, man. I know. And it might even get less,
No. I think only in architecture is less is more. In your case, more is better.
That's what they say sometimes more is not better.
No. I agree with you. But when I said, I agree with the architectural perspective. Less is more. But for you, more is not enough.
Oh,
or it could be like what my uncle said, but a woman, she married more and got less. Oh my gosh.
Sterling Dwayne. Good afternoon to your caller.
How are you, sir?
Yeah. Are you got someone else there with you?
Yeah, the Quincy Brown had come in and he had a thing scheduled and he able to do that and then he come back. So he just keeping my company because some days,
Okay.
But he's listening. No, you're listen. I'll promise you two things. One, I'll be honest, and two, I won't lie.
Those are good promises to make, indeed.
Yeah.
Good. Hi, Quincy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Fine as sifted flour. What's happening, old timer? How you do?
I'm between fine and excellent.
There you go. That's a good position to be in, eh?
Yeah. But on a serious note now.
Yes, sir.
We're living in some unprecedented time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Serious time, and always reflecting in my mind about the Cayman kind. while we are religious or godly people, yes, but I wonder if other people like I am paying so much attention to what's happening in London, in England as a whole, where you allow these people to come in, feel sorry for them, and you give them board and lodge and send their children to school and, the whole 9 yards. And look what's happening now in the about a week ago? Those 3 little innocent children was stabbed to death. Okay? And then the people decided, the old people say, where is smoke is fire, and blood is thicker than water. Those people go into that country now, you got the religious fanatic shut down London. Okay? The Prime Minister is saying he's going to arrest everybody because they're only thugs and radical people and so on. While I'm not there and I'm not English, I'm just a British citizen. I fail so much to disagree with what he thinks is right. Because that's their people country, not mine, not yours. That's English people country. And people that cannot behave themselves, they should be booted out of there right, left, and center. That's not what England is about. It is so disheartening to see what the world is coming to. If you flip the page now and you look at the Cayman Islands, we had better brace for what's coming here because you got all sort of people coming into this island has no respect for the Cayman Island people. They just do as they see fit, and they just don't care what's happening. 7 days a week working, 24/7. What have we come into? All you can see lorries and cement trucks and land clearing. What the hell is going on, gentlemen? Nobody seems to care what's happening here. That's what I say. All your politicians that we graciously elected, they are like what the Spanish people talk about, callao. Keep their mouth shut. They're not saying anything, but look what they're doing. It is high time that we speak out to these people and say, what you're doing is not good enough. This is not what we were expecting. So
yes, sir.
I have more to say, but I'll just let it stay for another time because time is not on my side. But another time I will come on, hopefully, to the talk show and get more detail into the conversation, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.
It has been said, Mr. Moderator, that the time for talking has come and gone. The train has already left the train station. Many Caymanians left behind. It has been said.
Yeah, as I listen to the caller sometimes, and he is perhaps acutely aware, as what some would say, whether we follow current affairs or whether we look at the unfolding geopolitical landscape, all amounts to one and the same, to where, we see not just unawareness, growing disrespect, but even unwillingness. How do we find integration? How do we get collaboration? How do we come together and unify? And perhaps the challenge is, as you take, let's say, a plant, and I'm not a horticulturist, I used to enjoy, when my sisters would plant and I would get to dig the holes and the like. How do we find this notion? Is there a caller coming in, my friend, on the WhatsApp? Maybe we see if we can connect to this caller. And in the studio, joining us, listening and contributing, is Quincy Brown.
That was a good phone call. I mean, I'm very grateful that I should get a call from one of our leading resorts in the Cayman Islands saying, we want to interview you, we want to screen you. So it means I was shortlisted. So that's why at the 2 o'clock hour I had to...
As prompted and on time. And
yes.
That's how we do it.
So there's a level playing field, we hope. There's no attitude of entitlement. I'm a Caymanian, yes, but being Caymanian in and of itself is not a qualification. That was a very good interview. I want to thank the lady for calling me from that resort, and, we'll take it from there.
Indeed, my friend. It's, first steps. But let's take this call, all right?
Let's take the call. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Mr. Green.
Afternoon.
Hello from the UK.
Hello. Well, it could be worse. It could be from that song. Let me leave that.
There will always be in England. Hello.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I know we don't have much time. Just want to jump right into it. The last caller was spot on. It is scary. Today I went into town. I don't live too far from it. Actually, with my bicycle. I'm like, what's going on here? It was like a ghost town. All shops and stuff was locked up. So the police, they locked the place down and said the protesters coming through here. And you see the people coming in with their blowhorns and all their stuff. They were started to trickle in. I didn't stay to watch it get started. I just, because the shops were closed and I couldn't get to do anything, so I just went home. So the place is like a ghost town. It's scary. But with this religious fanatical people, and like the caller said, Cayman really needs to scrutinize people that come into the country, because I know they're already there in Cayman. You know who I'm talking about, and they like to set up shop, put it nicely, and to establish themselves and sound their trumpet. So I think Cayman, the government and the immigration needs to put something in place to just simply tell people, no, your type of people, you're not welcome here. And if, I don't know, human rights or whatever wants to argue it, then so be it. But
is it not too late for that?
If it gets out of the hand where I see people over here have to fight for their country, because the British people coming out all guns blazing, fighting for their country. And to me, looking at it from a bystander's point of view, someone who's not really from here, just a visitor, I think it's a little bit too late. They got a very small window to take back their country, and they let it get out of hand for way too long. They should never allow this to happen. 22,000 mosques? That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Not to mention mosques inside of homes. That's craziness. The other day I went downtown and the police were looking for some criminal, and they had this van as you pass, and had all the cameras set up. So we had to walk through all the cameras, and the cameras were scanning our faces. And I said to myself, all these women are dressed in veils. I wonder if the camera scanned through the veil, So I'm thinking they put themselves in a really tough position. They allow, and Cayman Islands, the Cayman Island government needs to get themselves together and really look at what's going on over here and put measures in place now. If not, Cayman is going to be swamped with it also. So that's just my say for today.
All right. Well,
I don't know if you want to say anything else to that.
Quincy?
Oh, God, I would love to. Thank you for calling from across the pond. God save the king. Whoever is sovereign, the monarch, right now we have King Charles III, he is the defender of faith. Not only is he the king of the United Kingdom and the supreme head of the Church of England, he is the defender of faith. Now, we know the faith is Christianity, but his successor, who will be the Prince of Wales, Prince William, he'll be king after his father. I once heard him in a television interview many years ago saying, and I quote, "I should like one day that we're known as the defender of faiths," pluralized. So we're going to have Muslims, Hindus, atheists, Sikhs. More mosques will be built because all of a sudden now the king has to look out because he's the defender of all faiths. Should it be changed? It hasn't been changed yet. But that's what the young and upcoming king, because King William will be king one day, he hopes. You see, when we were recording these interviews, what we say 20 years ago can come back to. Thanks for calling from the United Kingdom. It's quite fascinating though, because everybody wants to express their faith to their deity, whoever that may be: Vishnu, Brahma, Jah, Jesus, Allah.
Hey, thank you, man. Anything else you want to share with us? We catch up with you when we catch up with you.
Yeah, next time.
All right,
Thank
listen,
you.
be safe, be well. All right, and
not to make light of it. I just think it's Caymanians we're not the revolutionary type. We're not going to have the Grenadian Revolution, the Cuban Revolution, the French. I mean, we're smart people, but we're kind. It is our kindness that has got us to where we are, and politicians love kind voters. So we are where we are. Ted Turner said it best, I think, Mr. Moderator. where we are right now, this is August 7th, 2024, in the year of our Lord, where we are as a people. Who are we developing for? We've asked that question. I think we are developing for the outside world to make Cayman home to whoever wanted it to be home. That's who we're developing for. And finally, Ted Turner, former CEO of CNN. I'm not sure who runs CNN now. CNN is Democrat, Fox is Republican. But Ted Turner once said, what do you do? So to all of us listening here in the Cayman Islands, we lead, we follow, or we get to hell out of the way.
Quincy, I appreciate your candor.
QB's Entertainment Services.
QB's Entertainment Services. Well, it was interesting as I listened and watched, we have the question, to what extent?
To what extent? That's the question, Mr. Moderator. Is it too late? Has the train left the station for Caymanians?
No, we cannot have
Never
a
too late.
defeatist mentality.
I agree.
We cannot allow, that thing which destroys to divide. We have to find a way to unite.
And you know how it starts? With the children. If you want to build a stronger, unified Cayman tomorrow, start teaching young school children to be kind to one another today. Doesn't matter what color skin you are, which part of the social strata you come from. This is home. Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, a tri-island nation, yet we're one. Beloved Isle, Cayman. We're Caymanian. Whether you're born here or you got your status or residency. What are you willing to put into this country that you call home? Cayman pride. But we are a dependent territory. You see, as long as we sing God Save the King, and something tells me we shall be singing it for a very long time, as long as we are a dependent upon the mother country, we will always grapple with these sort of issues. What do I mean by that? Because we're not determining our own destiny. My opinion only. So everyone is wanting to know who is Caymanian. Kabayan, I am Caymanian now. I want to be a Caymanian one day too. Because the last time I checked my passport said British Overseas Dependent Territory Citizen. I want to be a Caymanian one day. QB's Entertainment Services, 517-4860. Mr. Moderator, thank you for allowing me to come on. Singing, storytelling, stage shows, stand-up comedy, speech tutor, drama tutor, television commercials, radio commercials, master of ceremonies. I want to thank you, Norma McField, Miss Paulette Connolly, Taylor Bailey, April Cummings, the entire staff, DJ Lynn, Radio Cayman. Thank you for always giving me an opportunity to come here. And I won't wear my welcome out, because if I'm on good behavior, you might ask me to come back, right, Mr. Moderator?
Yes, sir. I'm reminded that to whom much is given, much is required. And
Amen.
Sometimes we fail to appreciate that we have time, we have talent, we have treasure. And if we are unwilling to find a way to do good, so good, be good, we are no good.
We're human beings.
Yeah.
We have to choose each day. Am I going to choose to do good, or am I going to choose to be evil? I don't bash the foreigner. I have lived briefly in Trinidad, very, very briefly passing through England and Jamaica. Very brief time in Canada. Wherever I go, I'm not from there. I was treated with respect and welcome. This is a fine example of what it means to be the United Nations. When Barry Kwape, who is a member of CNB, Chuck and Barry, and she's also a registered nurse, when she was active on radio, Barry Kwape once alluded to the fact of what does the United Nations look like? She gave a good example. It looks like the Cayman Islands. So many nationalities represented. Wouldn't it be nice from an ecclesial standpoint, praise the name of Jesus, and from a national governmental standpoint, that one day we all can say, we are Caymanian?
It's in the heart, my friend. And through the helping hands, we will either hinder, hurt, and harm, or we will help and we will unify. And I believe that through that prayerful, purposeful, positive approach, we can be a united people. I
concur.
My prayer, my fervent prayer, but it's also my honest endeavor. Yeah, let's do it together.
Let's do it
Peter,
together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
We have a couple of good things in store, and discussion with Ms. Lawrence Steele, and then Phoenix comes in at 1:30. We invite you to be a part of our discussion. We thank you for your time. And to the good folks behind the scenes, the work that they do makes it seamless, and you won't know, the success because they make it so unselfish. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful, safe, productive, enjoyable afternoon. God's willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown,